Hello. Today we are going to tell you about the short fill, mid fill, and long fill e-liquid options we have available for you here at the eSig shop. We have short fills that are appropriate for a 3mg, 6mg, and 12mg. There are a few differences between these, and we're going to briefly go over them. Hopefully, after this video, you'll understand the differences between them a bit better and know which one is best for you. Sexy. So, firstly, I need to explain why I'm wearing these gloves. You don't need to use gloves when handling the Nick shots or the e-liquid. You do obviously want to be careful not to spill it. But the reason I'm wearing gloves is I had a bit of an accident with a printer recently, and the printer, it put up a good fight. And my hands now look like I've run out of loo roll. So for rather than put you off with this video and my hands, I'll just wear some gloves. eSig Shop Blue, baby. Here we have 3 what would look like short fills. The difference is the amount of liquid in them. This is what you'd probably be used to with your 3mg short fill, which is a 50ml short fill. This is a 40ml mid fill because it's filled up to the midpoint. And this is a long fill, and that's 20 mils of liquid in there. You're not getting ripped off if you have a 40ml or a 20ml. All we're doing is putting in less base mix or a different mix of base mix into the bottles on top of the right amount of flavoring for the whole 60 mils. We do this so you can fit in, as you're probably used to, 1 Nick shot with your 50ml short fill because there's 10 mils of space there, and it will make the whole liquid 3mg. That is the most common short fills you'll see. But here at the eSig shop, we also have available from Mixology 40ml and 20ml short fills or mid fills and long fills. And these allow you to put 2 nicotine shots in to make this one a 6mg e-liquid altogether. We have 20 mils worth of space left in the bottle, enough for 2 Nick shots. You pop them both in, give it a shake. That's a 6mg e-liquid. And it's the same thing with the long fill, 12mg option, but you're putting 4 Nick shots in to make it a 12mg in total. So each one of these in a 60ml bottle is adding 3mg of nicotine strength to your liquid. The same amount of flavoring, or the right amount of flavoring, is in each of these bottles. So because there's less liquid doesn't mean there's less flavoring in. In fact, if you was to vape this without adding nicotine and vape this one without any nicotine, the flavoring will be much stronger in this one because it's been diluted less. It needs to be diluted with the nicotine shots. That can sometimes cause a problem with the 20ml long fills because you're putting in more base mix through the nicotine shots than is already in there. Some flavors might require a steep, which is where you just leave it for the flavor to mature a bit. These ones it won't be so bad in because a majority of the base mix is already in there, steeped in with the flavoring. So when you're adding just 10ml or 20ml, there might be a slight dilution of flavor for a while, but nowhere near as much as when you're adding 40 mils on top. 3mg tend to be max VG blends here. All we do is put the right amount of flavoring in and then top it up with VG. So it can't be any more VG heavy than that. This particular flavor is strawberry cupcake, part of our pudding pantry range, and it's a 76 VG, 24 PG mix. You can use that information to decide what type of nicotine shot you want to use with it, whether that be 100% VG, 100% PG, or 50-50. We'll leave that up to you. Most, if not all, of our 6mg or 40ml midfill options are 50-50. This is because we find most people that are vaping 6mg or higher are using devices that 50-50 is most appropriate for. We don't want it to be too thick because it will burn those coils out much quicker and it won't whip correctly. And the same thing with the 12mg. We aimed for all of these to be as close to 50-50 as possible. This is our Nords, and this pre-nicotine is actually 60 PG, 40 VG. So adding 50-50 nic shots to that might balance it out a little bit, but not too much, but it would still run very well in pretty much any mouth to lung or pod device. There is also the option with the 6mg and the 12mg, or the 40ml and the 20ml, to use VG nicotine shots. So if you use a sub-ohm tank and you want a really high nicotine strength, 6 or 12, then to make the liquid in the bottle thick enough for a sub-ohm tank, we'd recommend just adding VG nicotine shots instead of these 50-50 ones. Here at the e-cig shop, we have 50-50 nic shots available, 100% VG, 100% PG, 50-50 salts as well. Okay, so I'm gonna now show you how to put the nicotine into the liquid. Some people watching this might think, well, isn't it obvious? Maybe to you, but to some people, they've never used short fills. They've always used the TPD 10ml e-liquids. So because of current regulations, you can't have nicotine in an e-liquid if the bottle is more than 10 mils. So if we want more than 10 mils of e-liquid in a single bottle, we have to have the liquid in there with no nicotine and then add the 10ml bottles of nicotine to it. How we'll do that is take the top off, remove the cone nozzle thing, you just push that away. So that just pushes off like that. And then you would need to throw your cap in the bin, but you simply push the nozzle in the hole that's been left from removing the nozzle and squirt your nicotine shot in. This might seem tedious to some people, but one thing to remember is most people using 12mg aren't using high-powered equipment. So they're vaping at anything from 10 to 15 watts, mouth-to-lung tanks. And 60 mils of juice in a high-ohmed tank is not gonna go very quickly at all. Could last them a week plus on a single bottle. Some people 2 to 3 weeks, some customers. So you might feel like you're spending a bit more time than you would want to putting these nicotine shots in, but you wouldn't need to do it that often. If you're using a sub-ohm tank that loves to drink e-liquid, like a lot of them do, you're only putting one nicotine shot in, so it's not that tedious, don't worry. And the last nicotine shot. And then you would simply push your nozzle back into place. It snaps back into place like that. Put your cap back on, and then give them a good shake. You want to make sure you can see air bubbles evenly distributed around everything within the bottle. You don't want the nicotine to either sit at the top or the bottom, because then you're gonna get all flavor, no nicotine, or all nicotine, no flavor, and either one isn't gonna be too appealing. But that's it, that's what it looks like once you've given it a good shake. And that would be 60 mils of 12mg Mixology Nords, part of the Sweet Shop range. Each of these, including the required amount of nicotine shots, would cost you £10. So you're not having to pay any extra because you're using more nicotine. The way we see it is, there's less liquid in the bottle already, so we charge you less for the bottle, and then the nicotine shots, once you've added the right amount, would always add up to £10. So we've already put the nicotine in the 12mg option here, but without any nicotine shots, the 12mg bottle of e-liquid with the 20 mils of juice in would cost you £6. Then you need 4 nicotine shots on top of that. 6 add 4 is 10, that's a tenner. The 3mg option, or the 50ml short fill, that only requires 1 nicotine shot for a 3mg e-liquid. So that is £9 for the liquid. And then your nicotine shot is just £1, £10 altogether. And you might have figured out now, the mid-fill 40ml option is £8, adds 2 nicotine shots on top of that, £1 each, that's a tenner. And they are all available right now at www.theesigshop.uk. Okay, so we have been over the 50mm short fill, the 40mm mid fill, and the 20mm long fill, and what devices they're best suited for. Hopefully you have all the information you now need to visit our website, www.theesigshop.uk, and select the best juice for yourself.